Unique, colorful papers in various shapes and sizes are often used by paper scrapbookers to add texture and interest to their pages. With Scrapbook MAX, digital scrapbookers can also get that crafty look by adding paper scrap objects to their pages. It's easy to add a paper scrap to your page. Let's look at how it's done. First, I'm going to open up a saved scrapbook. Let's click the paper scrap icon in the toolbar. There are tons of options for paper scrap colors, patterns, and textures included with Scrapbook MAX. I'm going to choose the construction paper category. I'm going to select the pastel yellow paper and press OK to call up the Properties dialog. Now click OK to add the paper scrap as is to your page. Like other objects that you add to your page, you can move, rotate, and resize your paper scrap. A neat feature in Scrapbook MAX is the ability to add shapes to your objects, kind of like using a cookie cutter to cut out your object to a specific shape. This is a popular feature, especially with paper scraps. Simply double-click on your paper scrap to call up the Properties dialog. This is the same dialog that comes up when you first choose your paper scrap, so you can add a shape right away if you want. To add a shape, choose Custom Shape and then press the Change Shape button. You will be presented with shape galleries containing tons of interesting shapes to add to your papers. You can add a torn edge shape to your paper from the Fancy gallery. Notice the torn edge on the top of our paper. Or, if you'd prefer, you can choose a more graphic style shape for your paper. Go to the Object category. For this example, I'm going to choose a heart shape. Notice in the Properties dialog that we can also change the opacity of our paper. For instance, if I move the slider down, our paper scrap goes a little bit more transparent. I'm going to press OK to add the paper scrap to my paper like this. Here's a trick. To make sure that your object keeps the same proportions when you resize it, make sure that you choose Keep Aspect. Just right-click on your paper scrap and scroll down to Keep Aspect. Now, if I don't select Keep Aspect and I go to resize my shape, the paper scrap can end up way out of proportion. I'm going to undo that resize and show you the difference. Now I'm going to right-click and select Keep Aspect. Notice when I resize my shape, it stays in proportion to its original size. Now I'm going to get rid of this paper scrap to show you another example. One more design feature that's especially useful when it comes to paper scraps is layering. Scrapbookers love to layer photos on top of papers and papers on top of other papers. An easy way to layer your papers on a page is with the Arrange tools. When we select a paper scrap, right-click, go to Arrange. You'll notice there are 4 different options: Bring to Front, Bring Forward, Send Backward, and Send to Back. If I choose Send Backward, our white paper scrap falls behind the brown paper scrap on our page. Let me undo this to show you the other options. Now, if we select our white paper scrap again and choose Send to Back, it will send our white paper scrap to the very back of all of the objects on the page, besides the background. Now you can do the same thing to move the object forward. If I select Bring Forward, it will move our paper scrap 1 step forward. If we select Bring to Front, the white paper scrap will be brought to the very front of our scrapbook page. The Arrange tools are very useful for layering your objects, like paper scraps, in the exact order that you want. You can also use this function for your photos and your embellishments, as well as your text. So now you know how to add paper scraps to your scrapbook pages. For other tips and tricks, have a look at our other Scrapbook MAX video tutorials. Happy scrapping!